Stephanie, it's really important for people to have choices in life. Is it equally important for dogs?
It is. It is. You'd be surprised how important choice is. And there are studies that are showing that the more choices you can give your dog, the better it is for building their confidence and reducing their fears. It really creates emotional safety when they feel like they have some control over what they're experiencing. They are less likely to feel overwhelmed. They being able to say, okay, I need to have a break and to walk away or to say no, thank you, it really builds trust over time with your dog and it builds up their confidence and reduces their fear. And it can actually help prevent and resolve behavior issues. We have had situations, I personally have worked with dogs where we have increased their choice and they have their reactivity or their confidence, either their reactivity has become less or they become less shut down and they're willing to take more chances. So it helps to build resilience. It reduces the likelihood of fear-based behaviors. It's just amazing. And when it comes to things like the vet and the groomer, giving them choice or they're ready to get their harness on, even if your dog doesn't go to the groomer, giving them the choice of whether or not they want to put their harness on, or for the littles, whether or not they want to be picked up. Okay, those kinds of choices are really, really important and it can really encourage cooperation.
So give me some more examples of all of the different choices we can bring into a dog's life.
Oh my gosh, do you want to go for a car ride or would you rather stay home? Now, provided it's not, we have a vet appointment, then you don't give them choices, right? That's not a choice moment. We have to go to the vet, you have to get in the car. However, if it's we're going to go, run some errands and if you come with me, you're going to get a pup cup, well, they can decide that they want to stay home and nap. Which toy do they want to play with? Which treat do they want to have? Do they want to go outside or would they rather stay inside? Do they want to play with their friend next door or would they rather not? Which way do you want to go when we take our walk today?
Wow. I
Hmm.
think a lot of people don't even think about doing those types of things. They're just the manager and they're the one in
Hmm.
charge and they're telling the dog what to do. So,
Yes.
for example, if I say to my dog, "Okay, it's time to go get a pup cup," and that dog knows what pup cup is, but
Hmm.
the dog is just kind of laying there and not responding to it. The dog is telling me, "Now I really don't feel like doing that right now."
Really don't feel like a pup cup. Thanks. There's a lot
And
involved in that. I have to get it. I have to get my harness on. I have to get on the car. We have to drive somewhere. It's not worth it for me today. I would rather sit here and nap in the sun. Thank you.
and if I'm offering my dog a treat,
Hmm.
two treats, one in each hand, and
Hmm.
put it right in front of the dog and let the dog choose which one
Yes.
they want.
Yes. And you don't even have to do the one in each hand, okay? Trust me. If you hold each bag up, they'll be able to smell which is which and they can pick that way.
Good point. Good point. Of course, all of my treats are in a cookie jar.
Oh,
I don't
well,
think, so I need to take them out and
then there you
actually,
go. There you go. So you do, in order to give them a choice, you do have to do that. Yeah.
and it's proven that this actually gives the dog
Yes.
a greater sense of well-being and lets the dog live a happier and maybe
Hmm.
even possibly longer life due to.
Yes. Yeah. It helps to strengthen your bond. It really enhances the human dog relationship. When they have the freedom to say, yeah, I really do want to participate in this thing, that really it's more meaningful, right? If your dog is begrudgingly, you know, cuddling with you, that doesn't feel as good as the dog's deciding and choosing to come up and cuddle with you. Whether it's playing, training, snuggle time, that connection is different when your dog is actively making the choice to do it as opposed to being told. And just for those people who are immediately going to get up in arms about, oh my gosh, that puts the dog in charge. Remember, I said there are things that they don't get to choose on, right? If it is time to go to the vet, then you have to get in the car. And you don't get to choose to eat my shoes. Okay, that's not a choice that's optional. It means that we're collaborating. It doesn't mean chaos. It means that there are still boundaries, there are still house rules that you have to follow, but within the house rules, there is a bit of choice for you. I don't have to micromanage every bit about you.
Well, if I were a dog in your household, I'd be a very happy dog indeed. What else might we need to know about giving dogs choices? Anything?
So even things like training can include choice moments. About there's a couple of skills that I really don't like to give my dogs choices about, okay? And that is recall, because for me that's a safety issue. And so is stay. Right. So when I ask for the recall and when I ask for the stay, when I'm training, I'm really providing the reinforcement. Like, for example, I never take the food reward away from my recalls. Every single time I call my dog to me and they come, they get a food reward. Why? Because I always want them to do it. Okay. Because it's a safety issue for me. So technically, that's not really giving them much choice, right? There is a little bit of coercion in there. You're going to get this if you come to me. And it's weighed against, you know, being able to call my dog off of something that's dangerous or away from something that's dangerous. And for me, that is, more important. Now, the coercion is nice, yummy treats that they like, but it's still coercion. And then the stay is just, we don't necessarily want them to decide when they don't have to stay put anymore, because again, sometimes you ask your dog to stay because it's a safety issue. You dropped a glass in the kitchen and you want them to sit and stay so that they don't end up walking on the glass. And so those are kind of the two skills that I can think of off the top of my head where I wouldn't want to give my dog a choice, but as to whether or not they're going to participate. But, for the most part, training is about participation. You want to do this? Do you not want to do this?
Right. You know, I might be going a little deep here, but when you're talking about, and I'm going to start to do this, when you're talking about every time you ask your dog to come, you're giving them a treat. You want them to know that that's a must do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking back to Pavlov's dogs, and the eventually it got to, if I remember, intermittent rewards,
Mm-hmm.
not constant rewards.
Yes.
But with
Yes.
something like that, you do not want to use that method. You absolutely want to use the every time method.
I personally don't, because I don't want to leave it up to chance.
Right. It's too important to keep your dog safe. And
Yes.
like I said, I'm going to start incorporating that. I never did it quite that way. And lately my dog's been a little lazy. It's like, Milo, come. And Milo does this.
Maybe in a minute.
Think about it. So I think it's time for me to go back to the drawing board and start to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
for anyone that has a dog that isn't quite responding to all of these things the way that you like, Stephanie is right there to help you. If you want to contact her, it's all in the show notes below. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Talk to
You're
you
welcome.
again soon.
Great. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.